Hello students, today we're going to be learning about the present tense of the verb have. Let's get started. Now let's talk about using have in an affirmative statement. So using the verb have is something that we do all the time, and we can use the verb have in two ways. The first way we can use the verb have is as a helping verb. One example of this might be, he has done his work. Now you may be saying, Ms. Smith, you said have, but this says has, and we'll talk about that a little later. Let's talk about now the second way that you're going to use have, and this is mostly how you're going to use it, and that's called a main verb. That means that it can stand by itself. You can use the verb by itself and it will be just fine. When we use the verb this way as a main verb, it shows ownership or possession of something. It means that something belongs to you. So, one example would be, I have black hair. Now that we know how we're going to be using the verb have, I want to remind you about affirmative statements. Remember that an affirmative statement is a statement that is positive. It's a statement like I am or you are, something that is true. Okay, so it's something that is true, or if you're answering a question, something you're going to be saying yes to. So I am a teacher, you are a student. These are both affirmative statements. And now for the moment that we've all been waiting for. We're going to fill in our chart telling us how to use the verb have in an affirmative statement. Now, you see in our first column, we have our pronouns. I know you all remember the pronouns. And then in this third column over here, what we have is the end of the sentence. So as I complete the chart, I'm going to be using all three columns to show you how these sentences will sound. Let's get started. So first we have I and you. When you use the pronouns I and you, you're going to say, I have. For example, I have lunch now, or you have lunch now. Let's look at our next two pronouns, he or she. When you use the pronouns he or she, you're going to use has. This is just another way to say have. He has lunch now. She has lunch now. Now let's look at our last three pronouns. We, you, they. When you use the pronouns we, you, or they, you're going to say have. For example, we have lunch now, you have lunch now, they have lunch now. All right, we are all set, and I think that we can use this video to help us whenever we need help figuring out how to use have in an affirmative statement.